All right, all right. Good morning, Wolfpack fam. Good morning, new subscribers. Good morning, new viewers. If it's your first time here, welcome in. I'm going to do this before the new season starts. We had a Wolves Den this past weekend, which was pretty good. Talked about the Christian Horner situation, talked about Lando Norris, talked about some rookies. So usually what I try to do is kind of my driver rankings based on what I think, how I feel, where they went, and even if they did go up or they improved or didn't improve, sometimes I feel as if maybe there may have been some improvement or regression in there. This is not going to be any particular order, just random. Big shout out to Galactus. Big shout out to Paul for the super chat. Good morning, fam. Happy Monday. Hope everyone has a great, safe week. Let's get through this week and into some Ferrari F1 little action. Let's go. Smash the like button. Peace and love. And I will also apologize for the times bouncing back and forth, but when you're going through something like I'm going, sometimes you just don't know when you're going to be able to go, and sometimes things happen that are unexpected. So it will be like that for some time for me, and you all will have to excuse me even during the season. There might be moments where we're supposed to go live right after a race for our F1 minute, our finale lap, or the quali, and I might have to come on late or come on early. So we'll just work it out as it goes and as things hopefully improve. So let's just go ahead and talk. We're going to talk about Alex Albon first. He is first up. 2023, Alex Albon. Well, first 2022, he improved since then to 13th, but from there in the driver's ranking, he went down to 16th. Paul says Lewis P1, Piastri P2, Leclerc P3. That's your podium. Hey, I like it. I like it, bro. I like that. That could be a nice. You know what? We're thinking the same. That's my podium. I was thinking Pierre, Lewis, Leclerc, going there. I like that. I do. I like that, Paul. That's probably possible. I think it's still hard maybe to completely count Red Bull out, but that if I saw a podium and I had to pick it, I'm thinking that for sure. We'll see what happens though. Definitely. So when it comes to Albon, I don't think it's any secret that most of us said, hey, Logan Sargent, I'm going to try to make this rapid fire. Logan Sargent, not the guy. Alex Albon, definitely better. But now Alex Albon has Sainz in the other garage with him. And Alex Albon didn't necessarily have the best season, although if you want to compare it with Logan Sargent, was like, hey, but he didn't have the best season. I thought Alex Albon would make a step up. And to me, he added to the cost cap situation with Williams, and I think he should have did a little bit better, in my opinion, on that. So next up, we have Fernando Alonso, 2023, improved from 2022, but 2024 did indeed drop down. Not out of the top 10. Alonso with Aston Martin, senior driver there, championship driver there. Definitely the better driver there. Lance Stroll occupying a seat that Aston heavily need to start deciding if they're going to continue to let the legacy of that team be handcuffed by nepotism, or are we actually going to be trying to win with Nui, with Honda, with all the facilities, and with Felipe Drugovich, which will be a separate video. But either way it goes, I don't really hold it against Alonso for the lack of performance that he had then. I think that honestly, there are some things with the team that need to be worked out, because we saw Alonso perform well in 2023, especially next to Lance Stroll. So I'm not holding Alonso handcuffed for that right there. Next up, we have Kimi Antonelli, one of the rookies coming in this coming up season. There's no rankings for him. All I would say right now is we'll see what Kimi Antonelli does. Has a tendency already starting to kind of show that he pushes the envelope to the point where the car is going to come off track. He's done it before when he got to get in for, I think it was a free practice car testing. He did it in testing. So we'll see what Kimi Antonelli does. Very young. We don't know what his ceiling is yet. We know what the floor is. Horrible. We don't know how good he's going to be. So I'm looking forward to see him in Formula One this season, this weekend even, and see how it goes. Next up is Oliver Bearman. Bearman is another one of these rookies, but I also put the green arrow up because to me, if your first season you get in Formula One, you're up. Like you're coming from F2, you get in Formula One, doesn't matter where you finish, you're up to me. So 18th, Ollie Bearman, 18th. Think about that, top 20 in the season. So Ollie Bearman, I think we are trying to see about how that's going to, I think Pia wins, Sir Lewis Hamilton learning the car. Hey, that's not bad. I think still, even with Hamilton learning the car, if the machine is good, Galactus, I think he can still finish on podium. If Carlos can come out and collect podiums and wins in that Ferrari, I still believe Lewis Hamilton can gather enough of himself in the sense of that car to do the same. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, Ollie Bearman, we're going to see how he does with Haas. He's going to be officially in. He got 18th in the season. He was there where points collected. We had a gaggle of drivers and rookies kind of mixed in there. I think the rankings went well above 23 or 24 to some degree like that. I think it went up as far as 24 with the drivers that came in and out throughout the season and the actual race. We'll see what he does this time. Now he'll have more time in the car. Will he progress or roll down? We don't know. We will see. Next up is Gabriel Bortoleto, F2 champion, with a team that I don't really see too much happening. I think last season it was abysmal. I think this season is still going to be abysmal. If Audi does have their hands in this project and this is what we have, I'm a little bit concerned. But a lot of people lay at the feet of Audi, as much of them being successful in other disciplines. So I'm not going to discredit them on that, but I am going to say right now, if this is any indication of what Audi will be when this car is dressed in the Audi livery, I'm not excited for that, and that could be a bad few years in the sport of Formula One when this actually happens. So just keep that in mind, that Audi might not come out banging it and making it happen. Next up, we got Jack Doohan, which I think he's playing with house money right now. But in the Discord, we had a Wolves Den this past week, and family members made some very critical points there about Fabio. And as far as how, one, we could talk about how he should not be in Formula One at all. And it does speak, and Maria was even speaking to that it does speak to, and Mary was too, it speaks to the integrity of Formula One. But Jack does have a little bit of pressure, and the family brought this up, and I thought about it. I was like, you're kind of right. He does have a little pressure, even though I think he's playing with house money. I don't think he has to be perfect. I don't think he has to be outstanding, especially if right now the machine is not there and they know it's not there. But he does have some pressure from a guy who wants some results now and has a driver sitting behind Doohan that he'd be willing to throw in, which was a very kind of celebrated rookie, say kind of last season in Colapinto, if he's still out there. Next up, we have Pierre Gasly. And Pierre Gasly did improve. Pierre did improve from 2022 to 2023 and 2024. He edged up 3 spots, then edged up another spot. So he has improved. Gasly, to me, I think we've seen where it is. I know in DTS, if you haven't watched Drive to Survive yet, you'll hear Gasly talk about him having his opportunity while he watches Lando and Russell and well, not so much Albon, but Lando, Russell, and Charles at the top fighting, and him saying that he's not jealous, but he just needs his opportunity. Gasly, you had your opportunity. You and Albon both had your opportunities in pretty much the same season, and you didn't do well. You didn't do well enough for Red Bull to feel like you could be a number 2 driver to Max Verstappen. So I think what Gasly needs to do, which is his only option right now, is perform well where you are. Show us that something is different, because Gasly has shown me nothing different that says that if somebody gave him an opportunity in a top performing car, he would be performing like those top guys, because we saw him there and it didn't go great. That's why you are where you are now. Same thing with Alex Albon. We saw you there and it didn't go great. Now, we can speak to the point that the car's characteristics, the team, the dynamic, got it. I'm cool with that. Do what you have right now. Show people that there is a possibility or a glimpse of more potential there. And one day you may get your opportunity in a top or improved performing team. But as of right now, I'm not buying the Gasly train. I do like that he has improved over time. But I think several times we've seen midfield drivers get top field opportunity and they just don't pan out when that small percentage changes. We've seen it, and it's a very real thing. So Gasly, pump your brakes, do what you got to do there, keep improving, show people in reality that it is possible. Isaac Hadjar, we will see what he is with the Racing Bulls. We'll see what happens. Some people are not sold on him. People think it's like dynamite with him and Yuki as far as their personalities. Hadjar was actually, I think he was second or third in the F2 championship to Bortoleto, while we got Ollie Bearman and, other guys that just did not do as well as that, right? Kimi Antonelli, Bearman, they weren't as high as Hadjar and Bortoleto, but we'll see what he actually does with the Racing Bulls. There's constant rotation of drivers there. Next up, we got Lewis Hamilton, which we all, even haters of all kinds, are still waiting to see Lewis Hamilton and a Ferrari and what is actually going to happen. The first week, I'm already chucking it up. There's going to be a lot of hate the first week, right? There's going to be a lot of hate on Lewis Hamilton. There's going to, whether he does good or does bad. In a Ferrari, the trolls are waiting, and it's going to happen. I'm honestly hoping that Ferrari has a good program this season, a progressing program this season, updates that become upgrades to see them perform well and take that next step forward. And Lewis Hamilton having the opportunity to show the world that, listen, I still got it. He still has it. I just need a good machine. And every driver does need that. You need a good machine, you need a good team, you need a good driver. It's like a triangle. It's a triangle of fire, right? You need air, you need all the accelerant, you need all three levels of the fire triangle for a fire to exist. If you remove one of those components, you don't have a fire. And so it's the same way when it comes to driving, no matter how great you are. The next driver we have up is Nico Hulkenberg right here. Now with Steak Sauber and Bortoleto. So we'll see how he performs, but he did improve over the season, 16th to 11th. So I think that Nico is a solid driver. I think that it's a good move for Steak Sauber Audi to have a solid seasoned veteran driver. It's not as if Nico Hulkenberg is just some mythical unicorn that's going to just bless them with championships, but he's a good standard, right? He's safe. He's a good standard. He's going to get into the program. He's going to probably give you some good results with that platform to help you build, and he's low risk, in my opinion. Next up, we have Liam Lawson, and Liam Lawson, of course, getting this opportunity. He got on the grid 2024. I think we all kind of said, hey, he's got some potential. How much potential? I don't know. I'm glad he's getting this opportunity in Formula One, but I definitely don't agree with him having the opportunity in the Red Bull. I think, if anything, Yuki should have came up. Liam should have been with Hadjar. Yuki be with Verstappen. Another story, a bunch of reasons, and a bunch of BS, probably political or politics involved in that. But congratulations, Liam. I'm looking forward to see what you're going to do. Are you going to be a yes man? Are you going to be your man? And what do we expect when it comes time for you to race against Max Verstappen? Are we going to see you take the back seat, or are we going to see you try to do the best you can do as a driver in Red Bull and see if Red Bull are going to try to dampen you? There's a lot of things that we can look at for this team this coming up season. Next up is Charles Leclerc. I think 5th to 3rd, always improving here and there. I am a bit, it went up, then came down, then went back up. So it shows Ferrari improved, but Charles has got to stop making bonehead mistakes. He does make these mistakes. He is a good driver. He has good one-lap speed, and even over the course of race. But I think, even though, and I know I say this, and even though with Sainz, yes, 2 spots up, but I think what people appreciated about Sainz was he seemed less volatile. Charles seemed more volatile. It's like, okay, you're making these mistakes, but you're awesome. And when you're awesome, and then all of a sudden something happens and you're not awesome anymore. Plus, I think that was a big thing with him winning in Monaco, although I don't think Monaco should even be on the calendar anymore, and they extended the contract. But Charles, less mistakes. Keep your head down as far as to the ground, working, grinding, not head down, like stay out of the way, and learn as much as you can from Lewis Hamilton. And possibly, we hope that Charles Leclerc would be a phenom and lead Ferrari into the future. Next up is Lando Norris improving, and finally McLaren kind of getting back in that mix of top performing teams. This is the team that probably is more likely the favorite to rival Red Bull in another season. I think a lot of us are looking for McLaren to come right off the rip, start ripping some wins off, start pushing Red Bull to the back. We're not looking for you to start off slow, much like the Cincinnati Bengals. They always start off slow and they kind of ramp up. Joe Burrow can't even carry it. And it gets kind of crazy for people to say Joe Burrow carries a team and they didn't win. So I don't know how that goes. There's like living off of old accolades of beating Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. And, that's what it was. But Lando, I think a lot of us kind of say Lando is, hey, he's Lando. And there's been a lot of criticism on Lando and his ability to bring that dog out and actually perform against Max Verstappen, and he's failed at that. Galactus in the Super Chat says, rookies got 3 GPs with any points and no crashes. Galactus going to give you 3. Debbie, how you doing? Let's go Ferrari. I feel you on that. I feel you. We're going to be here hopefully for quali, maybe free practice. I have to see how things go. Then we got Esteban. Esteban now left Alpine, didn't do so well season to season. When it came down to it, dropped from 12th to 14th, was as high as in the top 10 2022. And here he is now. He's going to be over with Haas with Ollie Bearman. And I know some of us are a bit concerned about Ocon's, can be a little bit abrasive. Ollie Bearman being the rookie. Some of us are a little concerned about how much or how good of a teammate Esteban will be. We know he likes his elbows out. We know he's very aggressive, but I think he's aggressive with everybody. So we'll see how they go. We saw that team dynamic, but you put 2 drivers together that literally had bad blood between them from karting days when they were kids. And I just don't understand I don't understand what Alpine was thinking. I don't. It was boneheaded to even try that. It was boneheaded to try it. It was just a bad decision to mix Gasly and Ocon together and think that you were going to get some type of magical combination out of that. It was just dumb. It wasn't a good idea. Oscar Piastri, my other driver that I root for, is a dog. And don't pay attention to that 9th. That doesn't exist. That graphic is incorrect with the 9th up there. But anyway, Ollie Bearman, the same as you saw with Ollie Bearman, you didn't see anything right there. That's pretty much what it should be, 2023. My mistake on that. But anyway, going into Oscar, I think I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed what Oscar has provided. I've enjoyed what Oscar has been able to do in a car. I think that Oscar being 9th in 2023, there should, like, I would have put an up arrow right there, but he just came in and there's no up arrow, but he did, 9th, boom. And then 2024, he improved because McLaren improved. So I was thinking about putting a blue arrow there, but like I said, he came in. I should have put a green arrow there saying that once you came in, you came in. But since he had something to compare to going in here, I kind of would like just put him up on the 4th because he improved and let it be that. So I could have critiqued it and changed it and put the arrow there, but I didn't. But regardless, Oscar improved. I think that I think his sophomore year, even though Oscar improved, I think he still kind of had like a sophomore slump a little bit. I thought he would have been a little, 5 spots is crazy, right? But I think there was more opportunity in there, and Oscar, I think, will improve again this season as long as the car and the program is right. And we still got to see what Zach is going to do with this whole 2 number 1 things and how they're going to manage that with team orders and where they're going to prioritize Oscar if he actually is outperforming Lando. That is a big question as well. And then we got George Russell right here, down from 2022, then into 2023. Russell goes down 4 spots, comes up 2 spots to 6 in 2024. Now the number 1 guy at Mercedes, going to be senior to Kimi Antonelli. Now it's all on Russell. Let's see if you are the one to lead Mercedes into the future, what kind of calls you're going to make, what kind of teammate you're going to be, how your mentality is going to be. Russell wanted all the smoke. Now he has all the smoke. Now let's see what he does when he gets into this season and see how Mercedes is even performing with this new car. Have they made several steps forward to where they're returning back to that 8-time consecutive World Constructor Championship, or are we going to continue to see them struggle for a 4th season and just watch it kind of be all over the place? We will see if that happens. Next up, Carlos Sainz finally finding a home with Williams, as we saw that debacle kind of unfold on Drive to Survive. Carlos, now in Williams colors, will be with Williams, did improve, is a very solid driver. I'm looking forward to him getting in, bringing that top-notch team experience into Williams as they are improving as well, and hoping to see them grow and continue. Now, I don't know what it's going to look like with Alex Albon sitting next to Carlos or Carlos sitting next to Alex. There's going to be some things to see in there as far as where would Alex be? But very interesting, very, very, very interested to watch. Lance Stroll is Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is a nepotism baby. He's got a seat. I don't think he should be in Formula One anymore. At this point in time, is a reserve driver at best. We saw Alonso just extremely outperform him. We've seen a lot of other people outperform him. And honestly, Felipe Drugovich sitting in the wings without a seat is criminal to Lawrence Stroll. Next, Yuki Tsunoda improved over season for the junior team. Had several drivers come into the team, and it was said that they will all be the #1 driver, just completely dismissing Yuki, and Yuki outperformed them all throughout the season. Debbie says in the super chat, hey, I reckon the best team is Leclerc and Hamilton. Yes, right now people are saying that that is the strongest driver pairing right now is Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. So I do agree with you on that. There's another driver pairing that I think is pretty good too, but I'm gonna look at it a little bit more before I say something because I'm gonna wait on that. So Yuki, yes, definitely. I hope Yuki goes in here again, performs well, does what he has to do. So then there's even more of a support of Yuki having an opportunity with a top team. Max Verstappen, blue arrow, because I don't think Max Verstappen improved. Max Verstappen, championship for sure. But there was a lot of talk about Max Verstappen from Helmut Marko and a lot of Max Verstappen fans that Max Verstappen could do more with less, that Lewis Hamilton was struggling and was washed, and if Max Verstappen was in a Mercedes, he'd still win a championship, that Max Verstappen could take an Alpine or a Haas and put it on pole, that Max Verstappen could do all of this, even if your program and your car wasn't up to par and your program was abysmal, Max Verstappen could take crap and turn it into gold. No, he can't. We saw this happen. We saw the Red Bull car not be within its tolerance, and it's still one of the most dominant cars. We saw Max Verstappen lose asymmetric braking and couldn't do this. We saw Max Verstappen with just a little bit less than most dominant, and he didn't. He didn't do more. He didn't do more with less. He barely got by. He squeaked by because they were so front-loaded. So still upward progression because he's first. It's still there, but blue arrow because I do think Max Verstappen is cooling off. I think a lot of the whole hype train and delusional things that people were saying got dispatched last season when you saw a Red Bull car that was still one of the most dominant cars on the grid just be a little less out of the window, and Max Verstappen losing races, a lot races on the back end. So that's what that is. And then we're back to Alex Albon, and we'll see what happens this season. So that is where I am, good people, when it comes to this here. And let me know what you think in the comment section about these drivers and where you see them. And let me know what you feel like the first podium is going to look like in Australia, and who you think is going to be first, second, or third in the live chat or in the comment section. And we will be here later this week as we get ready to start off for the Formula One season. It is going to be interesting. All right. So with that being said, I'm Jay from Wolfpack Performance, and I wish you all a good, happy day. All right. Peace.